G'day guys, and welcome to another episode of Service My Ride. Today we're going to be looking at the headlights on the front of the vehicle. Now, a couple of things we're going to look at is restoring the headlights, cleaning up that clear coat that's on there if it's broken down over time. Whether it's an aftermarket light or the factory headlight, they all do it. So we're going to sand it down and respray it with some new clear coat. I'm also going to show you how to replace the globes if you've got one that's blown. More so if you've got a snorkel fitted to the car. It's a little bit tight to get in there with the airbox. And thirdly, I'm going to show you how to remove the headlight as well, especially if you want to upgrade them and put the Mars performance lights in, which we're running on the car as well. So all that and more coming up on this episode, so let's get into it.
First up, we're going to be removing the headlights. So first we'll need to remove the grille. And there is 4 bolts holding in the headlight. The 2 bolts on top, one in beside the grille and the other is inside the wheel arch. So once we've removed all 4 bolts holding in the headlight, then we just need to lift this tab and remove the headlight. And the passenger side headlight is exactly the same. 2 bolts on top, one in beside the grille, and the 4th one, if we remove the stone guard, we'll be able to access the 4th bolt in the wheel arch. Then you can lift the tab and remove the headlight. Now to change the globe in the passenger side, removing the headlight isn't required. But on the driver's side, if you do have a snorkel, it's best to remove it so you can get plenty of access. So then we can remove the dust cap, disconnect the power, then we can undo the clip and remove the globe from the headlight. Now if you're not sure what lights you need to purchase when you go to the shop, if you look at the back of the light, it's going to give you all the information that you need. It's going to say up the top that it's a H7, it's a 12 volt and it's a 55 watt globe. So after a quick trip up to Super Cheap Auto, we've picked up our set of replacement globes. And with up to 90% more light compared to a standard halogen globe, that is a sweet upgrade. So if you've never replaced a light globe before, the last thing we want to do is touch it with our fingers. Make sure we always grab the light globe from the base. And to replace the globe is exactly the same, but in reverse from removing it. Slide it back into the headlight, secure it with the clipping pin, and then pop on our power supply, followed by the dust cap. Now before we get carried away and bolt the headlights back into the car, first we just want to turn them on and make sure that all lights are working. And brilliant. We've now got our parkers and our headlights working, so now we can reinstall the headlights back to the car. Now if the clear coat would have lasted a little longer on these lights, it would look amazing, but they're chipped, cracked and faded. So having a look here with the before and after, we can just see how distorted and faded that light gets just coming from the headlights. And projecting that to the road, it's going to give you zero vision. So starting off with the 600 grit with the wet and dry sandpaper, start off in a circular motion. And make sure that you use plenty of water. So after some light rubbing, we're going to get this yellow paste which we'll need to wipe off. Give the headlight a quick clean. They will be a little bit foggy, so don't be too alarmed. And once we've wiped it down, we're going to sand it again with the 600. So make sure you use plenty of water, and we're going to continue going in the circular motion. So as you can see, it's not as yellow as it was the first pass. That's because we've removed most of the UV clear coat. But we've still got a lot of scratches and gouges, so we're going to continue cleaning up this headlight. So now I'm going to go to a finer sandpaper and use a 1500 grit in a wet and dry, and using plenty of water, I'm going to continue in that circular motion. Now these lights are looking pretty good. This is looking awesome. You still see a couple of small scratches in there. We'll give it a quick wipe off with the paper towel, give it a quick clean, and then we'll continue with the 1500, also using plenty of water, and we're going to continue maybe one more time in a circular motion. So now with all the clear coat removed from the lens, we're going to continue with the 1500, and instead of going in a circular motion, we're going to start to go from side to side. Still using the water. Now we really want to try and polish out all those sand marking swirl marks that might be in the headlight. Now by having a close look at these headlights, you can still see some really fine scratch marks caused by the 1500. So we're going to continue before we go to the 2000. We're going to give it one more hit with the 1500, using plenty of water and going side to side. Alright, and I think that'll do with the 1500. That's looking awesome. They look near brand new. So we'll give it a quick wipe off. Now we can step it up to a finer sandpaper. We'll now go to our final 2000 grit wet and dry sandpaper. Using plenty of water, we're going to continue in a side to side or left to right motion. Now depending on how bad your lights were to start with, you could finish at this stage and then clean the lights and get them ready for the clear coat. But because I was really paranoid about how bad these lights were, we're going to use the 2000 again, give it another hit. Make sure we're using plenty of water going side to side. The more times we do this, the cleaner we can get that glass and smoother. Make sure that once we put the clear coat on, it's going to give us our best result. And wow, these lights look absolutely amazing. If you have a look from the start to now, how much we've cleaned these lights up. We've removed all the scratches, all the clear coat. These lights are looking brand new. Yeah, they're still looking a bit foggy. Still, like I said, don't worry about that. We'll clean all that up before we get preparation for the clear coat. So we're going to use our wax and grease remover. Make sure that we clean those headlights up, get rid of all that dust off the lights, make them nice and clean, and look at that. That's what they will look like when they're finished. Beautifully polished headlights. But anyway, let's give them a clean up and then we can start with our paint preparation. Now if you've given your lights a clean and you've noticed that you've still got some minor scratches, you can step up to a finer grit sandpaper or even go to a polish. But I'm quite happy with the way that they're looking, so let's mask it up and get ready for the clear coat. And just to protect the rest of the paintwork on the car, that we don't get any clear coat, we're just going to use some newspapers and just make our area a little bit bigger that we've masked off. So you want to make sure that you cover the engine bay, all down the side guard and also the front bumper. And by using the newspaper, that'll just make sure that no unwanted overspray is going to hit our paintwork. So with the headlight now ready for the clear coat, it's time for one final clean. Now for the best results on the headlights, we want to use a UV resistant clear coat. You can't just use any clear coat for these lights because they will break down a lot faster. The UV will just help protect those lights while it's out in the sun. So give the can a good spray for at least a minute, and then you want to spray it on the headlight about 15 to 25 centimeters from the headlight, and make sure you cover the entire light with a nice even coat. And after about 30 minutes we can give it our second and final coat of the UV clear coat. And what we want to do is hold it still about 25 centimeters from the headlight. We want to spray a little bit slower this time because we want the coat to be nice and thick. Make sure you cover the entire headlight. Now after you finish your second coat, in about 30 minutes we can start to remove the newspaper and take off all the tape from the headlight. So now we'll let the clear coat cure overnight and we'll come back and check it in the morning. So 24 hours later and our clear coat is dry. So now what we want to do is get our soft wax and just apply a quick layer on top of the lens. So make sure you apply the wax to both headlights, and we are so close to getting this done. This is looking awesome. We just want to make sure that this wax dries on the headlight till it goes chalky, then we can grab our new cloth and buff them back. And this is going to look awesome. Check the shine out on our brand new headlights. So now that our headlights are looking brand new, let's continue with the rest of the car. We're going to give that a quick wash and wax, and let's have a look at our final results. Now this isn't the only way to restore a headlight. There are plenty of kits available. This is the method that I have chosen, and the results have been great. Now the results for you might be different depending on the age of the light or the condition of the light. But until next time, get out there and give it a go, and I'll see you guys in the next video.